For the next 8 to 10 minutes, I would like you to cast away your perception of how things should be and try to see a world through the looking glass of a young and developing mind. My eldest sister writes her all-important board exams this year. I have constantly heard her teachers and my parents say, solve the question papers from the last 10 years. It will help you excel the exam. The question papers from the last 10 years? So the questions that were asked 10 years ago are still relevant today. More importantly, 10 years from now, my sister will be fighting the real battles of life. And doesn't everything get outdated in few years? 20 years ago, there was no iPhone. Facebook was not even launched. And many things that we take for granted were not even there. Our world is changing fast, but not our education system. Our education system is designed for a now outdated purpose. The Industrial Revolution. It teaches us to follow instructions, punch in, punch out. And during those hours, you're required to quietly do the work. If you did the work quietly without asking any questions, you came on top. If you slowed down to think or ask questions, you, my friend, are branded as a non-performer. I'm talking about a factory, everyone, not a classroom. But it does eerily sound familiar like a classroom anywhere around the world, doesn't it? John Lennon, Steven Spielberg, and Albert Einstein. What did these guys all have in common? Except that they have excelled in their field despite our education system. Surprised it has not evolved yet? In fact, if it was left for our outdated curriculum, they would have joined the millions who fell by the wayside as the cookie cutter works. And if you still don't believe me, let me tell you a quick story about what their schools felt about them. Albert Einstein, he was expelled for his rebellious nature. Steven Spielberg failed 6th grade. And John Lennon was described as a class clown. I can go on and on, but you get the drift, right? If we had a right form of education and evaluation, there should be no place for regurgitation of outdated information. The emphasis should be on unlocking the mind, not clogging it with what is mostly irrelevant information. So I repeat, my sister's prescription to success is solving the question papers from the last 10 years, not thinking about the world that she's going to live in the next 10 years. I am a dreamer. I like to dream about a world that is going to come. I like to dream about things that are not here yet, but I am told as long as I can write a history of a time that is not even relevant today, I will be successful. Everyone agrees, sitting here, that we all have a different pace at which we learn. Each student has a different way they learn. And I'm sure you have heard teachers say, each student is different. But our education system doesn't incorporate it. So what is the use of even saying it? If it was left for our education system, they would have joined the millions who fell by the wayside as the cookie cutter works. And I'm sure that our curriculum is getting outdated. Our curriculum only limits us to the book. In one click of our finger, in one click, we can learn more than the book can even teach us. But we don't incorporate it. Technology is advancing at a rapid rate. And our education system is like a lame duck. And don't let me tell you how our education system is demoralizing each child. Some students have diverse knowledge, but they cannot score marks in the conventional terms, while others are good at their lessons, but lack knowledge beyond it. So how can the same exam assess both these students? We don't need to look hard through the looking glass to know our curriculum should have the ability to identify what we are passionate about. It should allow us to deep dive into diverse domains. It just tries to make most of us bookworms. We remember the information till the exam, and after the exam is gone, we forget it. Poof, it's gone, rather than using the knowledge to explore and learning to enjoy. Each student has a different passion. But we are not taught what we are passionate about. We are taught what someone sitting in a room thinks we should be taught because they learned it too. There's no need to fear technology so much. Let me ask you a quick question. And please do not be like those parents who say, I used to walk up 10 kilometers uphill just to go to school while fighting 2 mountain lions. How many of you wrote a mail or a report yesterday? You typed it, right? So why am I filling notebook after notebook? Why can I not just type it? And I'm sure during your times, you had to go to the library to search up all the books you needed for a project. So writing an exam made sense because you cannot carry a library, can you? But we can. We have Google with us. It tells us everything that we need to know. So the solution cannot be restricting technology and simulating a difficult past. In parting, let me give you some food for thought. When I wrote my first draft of my speech, ChatGPT was just launched. Now, as I speak, within just a year, it threatens to make thousands of jobs redundant. So best of luck solving your 10 years worth of question papers. The next threat that I will face will not come from some student burning the midnight oil and mugging everything up. It's going to come from the next computer that will be able to comprehend faster than the human mind. So we better keep up the pace. After all, we created the computers. The computers didn't create us. Thank you.